Welcome, this is Stein North with Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals. Today we're going to do a little video on microfires. And we'll talk a little bit about why microfires. First of all, I want to point out, off to my left here you'll see the typical material needed for a conventional fire lay. I've got some birch bark here that I'd make some tinder out of. And it's a good fast starting fuel, and it's a fire enhancement because it's full of oil. Here I've got a nice large pile of kindling. Here I've got some secondary sized wood that's about the size of your thumb and up. And then here I've got my fuel, my long-term fuel that'll keep it going. And that's to make a sustainable fire. Now you'll see thousands of videos on YouTube describing a conventional fire such as this. They talk about this all the time. Very good videos. People are very proficient at making these conventional fires. No matter how they start it, whether they start it with a match, a lighter, flint and steel, a ferro rod, doesn't matter. They're all proficient at it and they do very good jobs. However, what if all you want to do is cook yourself some coffee, heat a couple cups of water so that you can make maybe a freeze-dried trail meal, or maybe you just want to heat up a small 2-cup container of soup. Why use all this fuel? Why use all that kindling? Why use all of this? That's way too much. The other thing is once you get this fire going, that's to make a sustainable fire. In other words, this will get your big main fire going, and it's supposed to give you time to go out and collect more wood. More wood, more fuel to keep that thing going. So many people want to keep that fire going 24/7. If you're camping in one spot for 7 days, can you imagine how much wood you'd need to keep that thing going? People want to get up in the morning and just stir the coals a little bit and throw some wood on there and they got another big fire. The level of energy required to collect all that wood to keep and sustain that fire is just sapping energy from you. What you need to do is build your fires on a case-by-case basis. Now, if you need a fire to keep you warm because it's rainy and it's wet and it's cold, this is the way to go. You need to build a conventional camp fire. Now I'm talking about microfires, and off here to my right you'll see this little bit of material here. That's enough to cook you a cup of coffee. That's enough to get your 2 cups of hot water to have a trail meal, or to heat up some soup. Off to the right, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but I've got a small pile there and some extra birch bark for lighting the fire. I figure I've got at least 4 microfires there. Now, it's hot and humid. I don't want to fire all night, but I want to fix some supper. I'll build a microfire. That microfire will go out. It's safe. You build a big conventional fire, and you take off out of camp for 3-4 hours hiking around and exploring. Well, those coals sit in that fire pit from that conventional large fire, and it's unattended. You're risking a forest fire. And please don't do that. We want our forests. We want them the way they are. So use microfires whenever you can. Now I'm going to show you how fast a microfire can come together. Now I'm going to move the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little better. It looks like Blondie wants to start the fire for me. Oh, you got your face full of leaves. Now you best get out of there or we'll have roasted puppy. Okay, I'm going to use some birch bark. I usually like to take a larger piece like this and use it as my base. Please, puppy, you have to move. Now I got some real fine stuff here, and I'm just going to work that up. A lot of people want to take this and spend a lot of time taking a knife and scraping it and getting all those little fibers off. I just work it by hand, process it by hand. That you can break it up just fine by hand. And it'll take a spark from a ferro rod just fine. You might have to strike it 3 or 4 times, but it'll still go, I assure you. And the nice thing is even if it's damp, you get a good hot spark going to this stuff and it'll take off. So I made myself a little nest of this stuff. I put it on the big piece of bark. I've got this little handful of kindling right here. Now I've laid some, excuse us Blondie, scoot puppy. No. What I did was I laid some sticks down here to get some airflow underneath the fire after I get it going. So I'll take my ferro rod and I'll try to get us a spark going here. There we go, that fast. Now you just take that, set it on top of those sticks you laid crosswise. Take this little bundle of kindling, lay it across the top. Put your ferro rod away. A lot of people say they want camouflage or black ferro rods. And I tell you what, I like these blaze orange because you're not going to lose it. Now, you see how fast that came together. You got a good fire going. Now take some of this little fuel wood. Now this is fuel for a microfire. None of it's any bigger than my thumb. Now I don't have to go out looking for fuel because I got plenty to do what I want to do. So now I got, for me, that is a sustainable fire for what I want to do. Now, I just happen to have a brand new, Stanley cook pot. These are nice. You pick them up at Walmart for 15 bucks. They're stainless steel. They come with 2 of these nice insulated cups. I keep one in my pack and I keep one inside the cook pot. This one needs to be broke in. So I thought, well, I'll do it for this video. I'll throw some water in here. Yeah, there's about a cup of water in there. Now, you take the side of the fire that's upwind, get your cup nestled up to it. I'm going to move my fuel to the other side because the wind wants to push the fire to the right. So let's go ahead and work with the wind. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work this fire around my cup and I'm going to lay fuel around the cup. And because I don't want ashes in my cup, they come with a nice little cover. Might as well put it on there. Avoid that extra campfire seasoning. Some people like it. I used to raise my kids out in the woods, and when they were little, we'd make mac and cheese over the open fire. And for years they said, Dad, you know, you're the only person we know that puts pepper in in our mac and cheese. I said, well, that's nice. I waited until they were adults and told them, you remember the pepper in your mac and cheese? Oh yeah, they said. I said, well, it wasn't pepper. It was ashes from the fire. They didn't think that was that funny. So what you're doing is you're nesting your pot with the fuel and you're letting that water come to a boil without this huge conventional campfire. Now that's quite the fire. That's a lot of fire. I'll have a microfire like this at night when I don't want to babysit a fire all night. I'll have a microfire like this with a little pile of wood like that, and I'll get 1-2 hours of campfire enjoyment without the headaches of having to go and haul in lots of large wood and have a nice big campfire going. To me, campfires are for inclement weather when you need the heat so that you can sustain your well-being, or when you have a large group and you got to do large cooking projects to feed everybody. Otherwise, why have that? Why waste the fuel? But I'm not going to wait for all this to finish up and wait for that water to boil to show you. I'm sure you can tell that it shouldn't be a problem boiling your water. So there you are. Microfires. When that fire is done, I can pour a little bit of water on it. I can push it all together, pour a little water on it. It's dead, it's gone. That fire there, I'm going to have to haul water in if I want to make sure that's completely out. Much safer, right to the point, right to the purpose. Please preserve our natural resources. Use microfires. Everybody says there's a lot of wood out here. Go ahead and burn it. I say, that frame of mind, the day will come. There won't be a lot of wood out here anymore. From Stye North, you all have a nice day. From Big Jim and Rory, we'd love to see you at Camp Wilderness Thriving Fundamentals. Goodbye now.